The movie we are going to talk about today, Paris in the Clouds, was released in 2004. The main characters are the two most popular goddesses in Hollywood at that time, Charlize Theron and Penelope Cruz. What's more interesting is that the main characters of the film, Charlize Theron and Stuart Townsend, are a pair of fairy couples in reality. The film tells a love-hate entanglement that spans from the 20th century to the end of World War II, and shows a fierce clash between idealism and personal desires in the current era. Because the film involves a lot of complex emotional relationships and roadblocks, the popularity of the film was severely divided. Some people praised her for her boldness, and some people criticized her for her chaotic plot, but this did not affect her at all to become a classic work that was unforgettable. The story starts in Paris in 1924. An old woman who was counting her life is looking at a girl named Gilda. The girl asked her what she saw. The old woman kept silent for a long time, just said, "I saw your 34-year-old." This word, like a curse, enveloped Gilda's next life. Time went by, and she came to Cambridge University. A guy named Guy E came to study here with a scholarship. It was raining heavily that night. Guy E was writing in the dormitory, and suddenly there was a loud knock on the door. She opened the door, and a beautiful girl with a wet body broke in. She was Gilda. She panicked and said that her roommate had found her. She couldn't be caught, because this was a boys' dormitory. It turned out that she had just had a quarrel with her mentor's boyfriend Julian. She had nowhere to go, so she had to run away in the rain. Looking at the beautiful girl in front of her, Guy Yi's heart was hit. Gilda's dress was soaked in rain, and was tightly stuck on her. She couldn't take it off. Looking at the beautiful girl in front of her, Guy Yi's heart was hit. Gilda's dress was soaked in rain, and was tightly stuck on her. She couldn't take it off. Guy Yi had to go up to helping her to untie the wet clothes. It was a rainy night, and the atmosphere was getting more and more ambiguous. Guy E saw the heavy rain outside the window, and proposed to let Gilda sleep on her bed, but she slept on the chair. Gilda smiled and said, "We haven't been formally introduced yet," but she still accepted Guy Yi's goodwill. Late at night, the two of them lay on their beds and couldn't sleep. Guy Yi's body reacted naturally. She apologized awkwardly, but Gilda didn't care. Instead, she felt very honored, and dared to kiss her. She told Guy E that her name was Gilda. Guy E said, "I know you. You are very famous here." The two of them talked about their background. Guy E came from Ireland. His father died in the chaos, so he didn't dare to take the so-called national concept. Gilda also agreed. She thought Guy E was beautiful, brave, and intelligent. He was a treasure. Before going to bed, she even joked that she hoped she could dream of him at night. The next day, Guy E sent Gilda away. She thought it was just a casual encounter, but she didn't expect it to be the beginning of a life of entanglement. Guy E never forgot Gilda, and imagined that if what happened last night was spread, she would become famous overnight. A few days later, Gilda's boyfriend Julian found Guy E. He was very grateful that Guy E took in Gilda and saved her life. If the school found out, he would not only be expelled, but also deprived of his right to inherit. To show his gratitude, Julian invited Guy E to a weekend party and was eager to help him find a girlfriend. The party was held in a luxurious manner. The housekeeper at the door asked each guest to drink a cup of martini before entering. Guy Yi's girlfriend drank this kind of strong wine for the first time, and was choked. The people next to her told her that this wine was not for drinking. It was for swallowing. Julian told Guy E that Gilda was stuck at home because of something, and she couldn't come. The party was full of noisy nobles. They were dancing crazily in the dance hall, singing vulgar songs. Guy Yi's girlfriend, Molly, soon became hot with Julian. This made Guy E feel a little awkward. A woman came to the table next to him and asked him if he thought his girlfriend had been seduced by a nobleman. He was very sad. Guy E replied, as long as the other person's background is good enough, he doesn't care at all. Guy E felt uncomfortable when he saw the fire burning in the room upstairs. He persuaded Gilda, who was about to go upstairs, but Gilda laughed and said it sounded funny. It turned out that he didn't go home, but came to the party secretly. Guy E told him that his girlfriend, Molly, was playing the leading role upstairs. Julian even wrote a poem on her stomach. Gilda just laughed, saying that Julian's poem was very bad. She only felt sorry for Molly. Guy E felt very sorry for everything here. She felt a sense of sin in front of the rich. Gilda persuaded him not to take it seriously. It was just a game. Guy E finally had the courage to confess to Gilda, saying that he came here tonight just to see her. Gilda smiled after hearing it. She praised Guy E for looking cute, but also teased him for his red eyes, as if he were hunting dogs. The two of them kissed again on the table. They were so passionate. The next morning, the butler brought breakfast. Julian walked downstairs in his pajamas. They happened to lie on the table. Gilda wished him a happy birthday. Julian looked at Guy E with disgust, saying that he was like an primitive man. Gilda didn't care. She even joked that she wanted to kill Guy E. She also said that she wore a birthday suit. Guy E thought that Gilda and Julian would break up, but their relationship didn't seem to change. A few weeks later, an unexpected news came in. Gilda's mother drowned in the sea and was suspected of suicide. When Guy E saw Gilda again, he seemed very calm, saying that his mother was just a stranger to him. Then Gilda told Guy E that she was leaving the UK to travel the world. Guy E asked her if she needed company. Gilda refused, saying that she had to finish her studies. She told Guy E that she was the only friend she wanted to keep in this chapter. So Gilda left. Their communication began, but Guy E was always the only one who wrote to her. Because Gilda never stayed in one place for a long time. A year later, the letter was also broken. After Guy E graduated, he taught in London and took part in the movement to support the Spanish Civil War. He thought he had finally let go of Gilda. However, fate played tricks on him. A letter from Paris disrupted his life again. It was a letter from Gilda. She said that her new chapter had begun, and she wanted Guy E to meet her immediately. Guy E stepped on the train to Paris without hesitation. To her, everything in the world seemed to have disappeared. When Guy E came to Paris, he met Gilda. After a few years, he became more mature and charming. Gilda is now a photographer. She told Guy E that she had been to Hollywood with an American photographer, but later became more interested in photography itself. She also met the gallery owner, Marx, and became lovers with him. What surprised Guy E even more was that there was another girl, Mia, living in Gilda's apartment. Mia was a refugee from Spain, and Gilda's model and lover. In this way, the three of them began a wonderful life together. Gilda's photography exhibition was very successful. She even created a living sculpture called Youth of Justice, which was created by Mia and two other models, which caused a stir. At the celebration party, Guy E and Marx's friends debated politically. Guy E thought that art should serve politics, while others thought it was a waste of time. Mia also revealed that she wanted to become a nurse and return to Spain to help her compatriots. One night, Mia went out on a date, but was invaded by a man named Lucien. Guy E was angry and wanted to take revenge, but Gilda stopped him because Lucien had power. But Gilda didn't give up. She called Lucien in her own way, hinting that she was stronger than Mia, and asked her to meet. Later, at lunch with Marx, Gilda lightly said that she had taken care of that annoying man. The relationship between the three of them became closer and formed a subtle balance. Guy E proposed to Gilda, but Gilda refused. She said she didn't believe in marriage and even joked about having Guy E and Mia have a baby. She thought her genes were wrong and she was not suitable to be a mother. However, the war in Spain was getting worse and worse. Guy E and Mia finally decided to go to the front line. Gilda was angry and betrayed. She couldn't understand why they risked their lives for an illusory dream. On the last night, before they left, Gilda was so drunk that she cried and asked Mia why she left her. She called her a traitor. The war was cruel. Guy E killed a young soldier in one ambush, which made her suffer. And Mia took care of the wounded day and night in the hospital. They kept writing to Gilda, but never received a reply. In a brief reunion, Guy E and Mia hugged each other in the abandoned leather factory. Mia told Guy E that she and Gilda were lovers. Guy E was shocked, but it was natural. In the cruel war, the two lonely souls relied on each other and shared their love and longing for Gilda. However, their happiness was short-lived. Just after they survived, Mia's ambulance was hit by a bomb. She died on the spot. Guy E wrote a poem for Mia in grief. The Spanish Civil War ended with the failure of the Republican Party. Guy E returned to France. Shortly after, World War II broke out. In 1944, Guy E became an intelligence officer and was sent to Paris, occupied by the German army. In a café, she saw Gilda again. She was intimately with a German officer, Franz. Guy E was shocked and heartbroken. He could not understand Gilda's choice. He took the risk of sneaking into Gilda's apartment and asked her why she wanted to be with the enemy. The two had a fierce quarrel, but the attraction of the body made them entangle again. After that, Gilda left Guy E alone, saying that she no longer belonged to him. Guy E's behavior revealed himself. His superior warned him harshly that if he met Gilda again, he would kill her. However, in a street mission, Guy E was about to fall into the trap of the German army. A mysterious woman appeared and saved his life. This woman was Gilda. She told Guy E that she had never thought of eating him. Guy E understood that Gilda had been protecting him in her own way. His superior also revealed the truth to him. It turned out that Gilda had been providing intelligence for the resistance. She used her own body and reputation as a weapon to lurk among the enemy. She saved Guy E because she had intercepted the intelligence that the German army was going to arrest a beast-like agent. And the beast was Guy E. The day of the liberation of Paris had finally come. The streets were crowded with people celebrating, but it was also full of violent violence. Those who were thought to be German women were kicked out and their hair swept all over the street. Gilda's German officer lover Franz tried to run away with her, but Gilda refused. She said she didn't love him, so the resistance members rushed in. Franz was shot to death. The one who took the lead was Mia's brother.